Today it's all about Concrete Blonde.
Let's shed some light on it.
Hello and welcome to the darkened room of music conversation. I'm Chris.
And I'm Darren.
And we thought we'd dedicate this episode to Concrete Blonde, my third most favorite artist. If you watched our favorite artist episode, I mentioned it then, but I absolutely love this band.
Yeah.
And I remember I've told the story before, but I discovered them back in the college radio days when a kid brought in Bloodletting into the studio and he was playing it in the production studio and I'm like, God, I love this. So I got that album. Not long after that, I heard their version of Everybody Knows on the Pump Up the Volume soundtrack. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm into this band.
Now, there was a short time when that was your favorite movie of all time, too, right?
It was, yeah. If you haven't seen that movie, it's a pirate radio DJ.
Yeah.
And we were both getting into radio at that point.
I love that movie.
Yeah. So it really spoke to me because I'm like, that's kind of the thing. The thing I wanted to do is like if I could have my own pirate station and get away with it, I probably would have done it.
Yeah.
And if I
so that's kind of what we're doing now.
Kind of, yeah. YouTube has really opened up for all kinds of piraters, and they're really not pirates, but anybody can get on here and do it. So
this is true.
A great thing.
Well, I love Concrete Blonde, and these episodes are fun because we all have our favorites out there, and so this is kind of like the little dessert episodes that we have where we get to indulge in our favorite things.
Exactly right, and hopefully, if you haven't really delved into Concrete Blonde, maybe this will convince you to give them a second listen or maybe a first listen if you haven't heard them at all.
They're a great band.
Yeah. All right, so the band itself, it's been like any other band. Some of the members have come and gone over the years, but the core of the band is the talent of Johnette Napolitano.
Yeah.
She is an amazing talent. She's underrated.
I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely underrated. I don't know why she doesn't get more respect and recognition today than she does. It's like, she's out there. She grew up in a family. She was like one of five. In her household, they were playing like Marty Robbins and the Rat Pack and Johnny Cash.
Cool.
You can kind of hear some of that in their music.
Yeah.
She
likes telling stories.
Exactly right. Yeah. So her parents recognized her talent like really early on when she was a little kid. You remember every year they used to show Wizard of Oz,
of course,
on TV.
Yeah.
Well, the families gather around watching it, and when it was over, this little kid walks over to the piano and picks out Somewhere Over the Rainbow by ear, and her parents are like, "Whoa, this kid's got some talent, natural talent."
And where did you grow up?
In Hollywood, California.
No way.
Yeah, and her parents are like, "Whoa. Let's get this kid enrolled somewhere." And at age 5, she was enrolled in the Gifted Kids Art Program at UCLA.
All right. So that would have been 1962. She was born in 57.
That's correct, yes.
In Hollywood, California.
In Hollywood, California. Yeah. That's right. All right. So Johnette is an interesting person. I actually kind of met her once. I got like close to her. I didn't really get to talk to her.
Yeah.
But she was really, really cool with everybody. She's one of those approachable people that, if you saw her in a bar and you bought her a drink, she would like just talk your ear off all night.
Yeah.
And, and be interested in it.
I love people like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's an interesting character. She believes in the paranormal. Mm-hmm. In fact, now she's doing a podcast. It's called Coffee and a Card. She does daily tarot readings every single day.
So her and Stevie Nicks would probably get along really good.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So, she's into this mystical, unknown paranormal type stuff. In fact, one of their songs, Ghost of a Texas Lady Man, is supposed to be...
I love that song.
It's supposed to be a true story.
Yeah.
That she experienced in a hotel. I believe it was in Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, she's an interesting character, but she's got great talent. And back in 1983, I think it was, she formed a band called Dream 6. A couple of members of the Concrete Blonde as well. But they were originally called Dream 6, released an album. Actually, it was an EP, self-titled. And that got the interest of IRS Records. They signed them to a deal. And their label mate, Michael Stipe, suggested they change their name, and he's the one that came up with Concrete Blonde.
Which is a great name.
Yeah. He's like, you guys have this hard rockin' music, but introspective lyrics. It kind of fits.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Kind of like Guns N' Roses, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So Concrete Blonde was formed. And from this point on, I consider their core work to be those 5 major label releases. Now they did some stuff, after that was like, it was hit or miss. It didn't quite have the Concrete Blonde oomph to it.
Right. And what years are we talking here?
So the ones that I'm going to kind of leave out are like from 1997. They did an album with Los Illegals, and it was like a lot of it was Spanish language. I mean, it was good, but the songs just they didn't. There was something missing.
Yeah.
Now, I did like Group Therapy when that came out in 2002. Loved the song Violent. Take Me Home is a fantastic song as well. But again, a hit and miss album. And recently, well, I say recently, 2004, they released their actual last album called Mojave. And it's a very noisy, almost, I wouldn't call it avant-garde, but it's pretty noisy, and it's not very cohesive.
And so I'm assuming that the 2002 album is when we saw them live in...
Yeah, Group Therapy. That's where we saw them live in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
That was, I think, I can't remember the name of the place, but I know it was in Little Five Points.
Yeah,
little club.
Great show too, by the way.
And I have a fond memory of her too. At the very end, saying hello to the ghost that lives in the theater.
I remember that
paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks for letting us play. She was like thanking the ghost for permission. That's the kind of chick she is. Very interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah, but she doesn't throw it in your face or anything. She's not overbearing with it. She's like she believes it and she acknowledges it when she thinks it's there, but she doesn't try to convince you that it's real.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So major label debut release on IRS Records. So if you want to call IRS a major label, for people who loved alternative, it was major to them.
Yeah, Timbuk3 was on there.
Yeah,
REM
was as well. Yeah,
Wall of Voodoo. So they people that didn't quite fit into any category, they seemed to suck them up.
Exactly right, and they usually were
successful,
very successful, pretty spot on with their signings.
Yeah,
Concrete Blonde, one of them, self-titled debut came out. I'm going to mention the songs that were my favorites on each album. That's I'm going to do. So Dance Along the Edge was one of my favorites. Still in Hollywood.
Love that one.
Yeah. The band is from Hollywood. That's where they formed. That's where Johnette was born. But my favorite on here is Cold Part of Town. This is a fantastic song if you've never heard it. It's going to be in the Spotify playlist.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. 3 years later, they released Free. And this is the one with God is a Bullet. This song kicks ass.
I love it. Heavy song, edgy, very cool, very dark.
Yeah. So they're starting to they're kind of making their way to Bloodletting.
Yep.
Much like Pink Floyd made their way to Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Run, Run, Run is another great song. It almost makes me think of Pink Floyd with Run Like Hell. But yeah, it's a great song. It's a good driving song. My favorite on here though, Scene of a Perfect Crime.
Nice.
That'll be in the playlist also.
Yeah.
And then a year later, The Pinnacle. Bloodletting is released, and boom.
Yeah.
Everybody knows their name.
Yes.
Joey was a top 40 radio hit, and this whole album is so fantastic. What I'm going to do in the Spotify playlist, I'm just dropping all the songs.
Well, they need to hear it.
Exactly right.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, if you give that album 3 listens, you will be hooked.
Exactly right. So
it's amazing. And amazingly catchy.
Yeah. Go listen to it.
Yeah.
Experience it for yourself. 1992, they released their follow-up to it, which didn't do so well. But I thought there were some great songs on it. It's called Walking in London.
Yep.
There was the title track, of course. Ghost of a Texas Ladies Man was on this album.
Yep.
It's a great song, yeah.
Yep.
And Someday is probably my favorite off of this one.
Good
Someday's
stuff.
a great song, yeah. And then I would say their post-Bloodletting releases. This next one in 93 was my favorite among those. Mexican Moon.
Great song.
Mexican Moon, that song is
fantastic.
One of my favorite driving at night songs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's perfect. And or if you're like in the summertime and there's a full moon out and it's hot, and you feel the sweat a little bit, it fits that mood too.
I agree.
Yeah. Rain is a fantastic song on here too. So check out Rain. And probably it's tough for me. Between Mexican Moon and this song, it competes with my favorites. Heal It Up. This song kicks you in the butt too.
Yeah.
Fantastic song.
Another good point about Concrete Blonde. They're sneaky rocking.
They are, yeah.
Because they got a punch to them at moments.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, you're listening, like, you'll find out when you go to listen to Bloodletting, there's a song on there called The Beast. It kind of comes out of nowhere and punches you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically a metal song sounding almost.
It really is.
Yeah, it's got the intensity of a metal song. It's not metal. Come on.
Not. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's not Judas Priest or anything.
Right. Yeah. It is Concrete Blonde.
Yeah. So I'm not quite the fan that you are of Concrete Blonde, but I pretty much like everything I've ever heard. We attended a concert together, which was a blast, and I love Bloodletting. I think that album is a perfect 10. In all honesty, I really mean that. But I wanted to mention some of my favorite songs by Concrete Blonde, if I can.
Please do. I was hoping you would.
Yeah. One of my favorites. This is really cool. If you haven't heard this. Mandicella, which is actually a Cheap Trick song.
Yeah.
They covered it and did I'm very picky when it comes to Cheap Trick covers.
Yeah.
They kicked its ass. It's so good. Yeah. Very cool. We'll check it out. It'll be in the Spotify playlist as well. Yeah. Lullaby, I just love it. Off of,
off of Bloodletting, yeah.
Sky is a Poisonous Garden. I love that one. Of course, that's also off Bloodletting. Yep. Of course, Caroline. And you already mentioned God is a Bullet. That's probably my favorite Concrete Blonde song of all time.
I can see why, because it's awesome. It's hard for me to pick a favorite, just like any of my other favorite artists.
Yeah,
but
that song grabs you by the neck and chokes you to death.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Back to the point that they can sneak up on you and absolutely punch you in the face.
Yeah, but don't let her get too close; she'll suck the blood right out of your neck.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of get that vibe. But, she's a cool person. She would never do that.
Yeah.
But
I love her.
She's got that mystique about her.
Totally.
That's one of the things I love.
Totally.
So, have you heard of Concrete Blonde? If so, let us know what your favorite songs are by them. If you haven't, please go to the Spotify playlist. Check this band out.
You'll be hooked.
They do not get the recognition and the accolades that they certainly deserve.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode of In a Darkened Room. You can find the link to this episode's companion Spotify playlist in the description. Darren and Chris welcome your comments. You can leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Follow In a Darkened Room on Twitter to receive updates and submit your ideas for what we should discuss in upcoming episodes. Darren and Chris are also on Instagram, so give them a follow there as well. All of these links can be found in the description below. While you're there, be sure to click subscribe and ring the bell.
All right, games people play. What do we have this time?
Random topic time. It's this game.
All right, I know that game.
All right, so your turn to draw. So pick one out of there.
Here we go.
Category is
the 90s.
Perfect.
All right, let's see what we have here. She had a monster hit in 1998 with You're Still the One. Who is she? Here's our choices.
I know it. Do you know it?
Of course I know it.
Okay. But what are the choices?
All right. The choices are Faith Hill, Stevie Nicks, Ashley Sorensen, and Shania Twain. Well, we know the answer.
It's Shania Twain.
And I like that song, and I like that album. Produced by Mutt Lange.
That's a song I don't hate so much by her. It's there are times that I can actually enjoy that song.
Yeah, well, I thought that, at that point in time, she was kind of offering something a little bit different in the country world.
Yeah.
It was definitely, her husband at the time produced the album, so very much had that, same Mutt Lange sound, which is not a bad sound.
Yeah.
It's a very familiar sound, and it's a sound that hadn't been heard and transposed into the realm of country music, so it was very successful at the time. And my theory for that was people that grew up on Def Leppard were older, they were liking more mellow stuff, and then, they had already moved on to country anyway, so it was the natural transition.
Yeah.
And she sold millions and millions of
Tens of millions.
One of the biggest selling records of all time.
Crazy.
And did you ever hear the story of what happened with her and Mutt Lange's marriage?
No.
Very strange. Okay, so they get a divorce because he was cheating on her with her best friend's husband. Okay?
Okay. Tell me what this girl looks like.
Exactly. She's no Shania Twain. I've seen her before.
Wow.
Now get this. So they get together, and after the divorce and everything, Shania gets with her best friend's ex. And that's who she's with to this day, as far as I know. So they just traded.
As the world turns.
Seems like they could have just worked something out. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Who cares?
Whatever.
Yeah. This is not the National Enquirer. This is in a darkened room.
Hey, we never know what we're going to draw out of that box. So our mind just goes in weird places.
Exactly. That's the point of this whole random topic thing.
Exactly.
It's designed for tangents.
Right.
Thanks for joining us for this episode, guys. Check out Concrete Blonde. Can't say it enough. And we'll see you again soon. Take care.
See ya. Keep rocking.